Good evening, good night. What's good, my people? What's good? I hope everyone is well. It's your boy, Mark, an MUFC fan. And I'm a bit late, but the breaking news has come. The first signing of the season is here, and his name is Joao Zirkzee. And guys, whether you like this guy or not, he is now a Manchester United attacking player and will be backing up Rasmus Højlund next season, but we will be definitely seeing him on display very, very soon as Manchester United open up the preseason against Rosenborg on the 15th of this month, guys. It's going to be very interesting because he's going to be the striker that's available. His backup is going to be Ethan Whitley. We're going to see him. We're going to see what he has to offer, guys. He's probably going to spend a week off this couple of days, or he might be getting right into the thick of things because as we know, he didn't play much minutes with the Netherlands team, so he might want to get some game time and, of course, get familiar with his teams for the new season. Guys, what are your thoughts in the comments? Let me know what you're thinking. Smash those likes and subscribe if you haven't yet. Let's get started with the show. It's your boy. Let's get into this. Guys, it's been a great evening, a Thursday evening that we could enjoy. I'm pretty sure the summer is going to start rocking and rolling. You might just be hearing some more news tomorrow and maybe even on Saturday because you know what? A lot of teams with players that we've been looking at, they've just got knocked out of tournaments. And I'm not just talking about Netherlands, I'm also talking about Uruguay. And it's going to be interesting because Man United seem to be doing a lot of work in this preseason, not on fun and games. Big up Noah Theodore, and most certainly, guys, be sure when you see him, Mr. Jarvis Cocker, happy birthday, my brother. I hope you're well, and I hope you're having a good day. I spoke to you already for the day, but I have to say happy birthday again. You know what I mean? Very good friend, very good guy, tactical knowledge, very good on football, just a very genuine lad much like the guys in here tonight. Big up to you, Yarli Malmeen, the stat man. Alien Tenno, my brother, what's good, broski? Mental. I'm pretty sure you're having a smile on your face tonight, bro. Jar Wick, what's good, homie? What are you up to these days, bro? If you're nearby, let's link up and have a beer or two, bro. Yeah, happy birthday to Jarvis. Guys, the link is in the comments if you want to come in and have your say. Let's get right into this article. I know there are lots of reports flying about. But as you know, Fabrizio and these guys, they confirm these things. So I'm just going to report it for you. Let's see what they have to say. Manchester United paid 42.5 million euros for Joao Zirkzee, and it was not the 34 million release clause. Guys, as you know, Manchester United wanted to do the deal a little bit differently. They wanted to spread the payments across the 3-year period. And based on this factor, they had to increase the bid from 34 million euros to 42, and that's a whopping increase, guys. But I think it probably will pay dividends. It will allow us to have a little bit more money in the coffers to spend. As you know, we have been trying to negotiate some deals where we pay a partial sum up front and pay the balance over the time so we can keep in line with the PSR financial records. And you know what, guys, it's going to be interesting. Let's see what they have to say. Heading into the ongoing window, signing a top-class talisman with a priority was for Sir Jim Ratcliffe and INEOS, especially after it increasingly became clear Anthony Martial would part ways with the club. United were also keen to secure the competition for young Rasmus Højlund, who, despite showing glimpses of his brilliance and potential in 23-24, cannot be solely relied upon to lead the line for the Red Devils every week. 100%, he's going to need some time to get some rest. Erik ten Hag's side were linked to several goal scorers, including Victor Osimhen, Victor Gyökeres, Ivan Toney, and Dominic Calvert-Lewin. But they eventually settled on Zirkzee as their number one transfer target, and Zirkzee enjoyed an exceptional campaign with Bologna, scoring 11 goals and registering 5 assists, helping the Ross and Blues secure Champions League football after a 50-year absence from the competition. For weeks, AC Milan were thought to be leading the race and land J.ZIRKZEE, but eventually pulled out of negotiations as they could not reach an agreement with its agent, Kia Joorabchian. And over commissions, this gave United a pathway to pounce, and they certainly took the opportunity. Early on today, journalist Fabrizio Romano relieved that United and Bologna have found middle ground over the fee it would take to lure J.ZIRKZEE to Old Trafford. Romano sealed the switch with his famous "Here we go" catchphrase. Initially, Romano only stated United would fork out a sum slightly higher than J.ZIRKZEE's 40 million in an effort to spread the full payments out. If United had triggered the release clause, they would have been required to pay the 40 million in full. Romano has since given a slight update on the actual amount which United will part with for J.ZIRKZEE. He wrote on X, formerly known as Twitter, and the final fee is 42.5 million euros, which will be paid over a 3-year period, like I was saying. More details will be done for United. Medical tests will take place tomorrow, and then face-to-face meeting with Erik ten Hag. The contract is until June 2029 with an option for a further year. 42.5 million to be paid over 3 years instead of 40 million in one solution. And this is the here we go. And I'm pretty sure he's excited to come to United and wear the red kit. Guys, our kits are extremely nice this season. I mean, I pretty much loved this kit last season as well as the white one. But the new ones, this guy is going to be very good for us, guys. You know, he's 23 years old, and if the medical is going to be done tomorrow, you're definitely going to see some official statements and pictures coming up for you guys. It's going to be very interesting. But let's tell us, guys, what are your thoughts initially on this? What do you think is going on? What would you like to see from? What do you expect? You know, give us some of your thoughts, guys. It would be nice. And Mental Ball Game is saying J.ZIRKZEE is a good signing and we didn't pay too much over the release clause, which is good. Big up to you, Sandra Myers. I hope you're having a good night. I hope you're enjoying some of the good news that is coming through the Man United airwaves right now. Big up to you, Nero. What's up, my bro? All the way from South Africa. I hope you're having a good day, and I'm pretty sure you're in for it. Big up to you, Metal Football, my brother. I hope all is well with the fam. How is everything going with you, broski? What's good? What's good? Big up to the people. J.ZIRKZEE to United. FYI, Aaron Winter recommended this player to stay at Bologna for another season. He thinks he's not ready yet. Interesting to see how he fares. I've been hearing some reports, but let's hear my big brother coming and talk about it. We know the legend, and it's Peter. Big up to you.
Yeah, man.
What's good, my bro? How are you doing
How's
tonight?
it going, Mark, my man?
Chilling. News, you know, a
How's
good
it going, Chas?
Thursday.
Hey, let me just say this. England, England,
And I'm happy for you guys, bro. You guys, I mean, to be honest, I might support England as much as you do,
Come
but you
on.
guys deserve it, man. I be honest with when I say it. You know, regardless of what anyone thinks about Gareth Southgate, I think the team deserves to play in a final. They have all the quality in the world, and
Sorry, Mike. You know what, man? You know what? England got to the final playing dire. We've just woke up. And let's not mince our words here. We've been playing with 10 men because Harry Kane is a fucking liability, man. Pin his ass and put Ollie Watkins or Ivan Toney on, man. Seriously.
Bro, I think
the guy
England
is finished. He's finished.
Bro, finished. But you know what? You know what it is, Peter. You know, Gareth Southgate have his way of doing things. You know, I might say it was a master stroke and all. You know me, I don't like Gareth Southgate at all. I think he should be sacked regardless of where he finished in this tournament,
Yeah.
even if he win it. But at the same time, yeah, when I was watching that game and I saw those two substitutions coming on, I was like, the right moment, the right time. And I was talking about before Ollie Watkins came on, but the two substitution he made at the half when he brought on Shaw and the next player, I was like, yo, this looking really good. And I was like, I was shocked. But you know, the funny thing is I just feel like he needs to give these players more time to play in the field. Like England should be dominating games in the first half, bro. I feel like, you know, much respect to Phil Foden and what he done this season for Man City, but I was still straight up and say this because I just feel like he throwing off Jude Bellingham being forced to play mostly off the left, which is not really his role. He's played through the middle. I feel like maybe he could take off Jude Bellingham, take off if he don't want to play Jude Bellingham as a lone 10, then better you take him off, pour on Ollie Watkins, or you take off Foden and you pour on Ollie Watkins and you play two strikers.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? But
I
it
mean,
would be
you know what, Mark? I mean, you look at the England bench, the subs. Most of them subs will get in any nation's first team. That's the firepower and the player quality England has. And by hook or crook, we've made the final. But you know what? You know, we shouldn't be struggling like this in games. We should be balling teams. Cole Palmer, man, can hardly get a kick of the ball. He was one of the Premier League's best players last season. Anthony Gordon, you know what I mean? It's like, seriously. And this guy is, like you say, he's that pragmatic. You know, he'll always try and square peg a round hole, won't he? Southgate. You know what I mean? He's like, no one tells me what to do. This is how I'm going to do it. No, sometimes you have to listen to people, mate, because you're going
100%.
seriously going to lose the tournament if you don't change. Because Spain will, if they get in front of us, it's going to be very difficult for England to get back.
Yeah, England need to have a different tactic for this game, and Spain for
Anyway,
the
do you
whole
like the new
tournament.
Threads, Mark? The new Man U kit?
Bro, no worry, I ordered mine, so it should come in a week or two. But you know, I was trying to wait for the away kit, no, you know, the white one to
Oh,
launch
yeah.
because I
Yeah.
really like that white kit. I was like, bro, I have to get my hands on that white kit. It's just one of those things where I wasn't able. It didn't launch yet, so I kind of feeling a little bit mad to buy the red one because you know I'm going to buy the red one. I just want to get the white one as well.
Well, I know Mick Ruby's got the third kit. I need a white one with the black and white. I thought, where'd you get that from, bitch? You know what I mean? But what it is because he lives in Asia,
Yeah.
and that's where they're made. I think they're made in either Cambodia or Vietnam, aren't they?
Yeah, something like that. And
Yeah.
you're over there in Phuket, so you know, it's one of those things. I mean, like I agree, Bellingham hasn't been exactly meh, but you know, if you look at where he playing for England metal football, he's not in the right position, and as much as he might be a little bit versatile, you know, he make his name this season playing through the middle. I think you should keep him there. That's just
Yeah.
you know, keep them playing where they should
Okay, I
be.
mean, class will come through. I mean, I said at the start at the tournament, Mark, yeah, just before we get onto the real subject, Man United. This is just a sideshow, England, isn't it? I said play Bellingham, Rice, and Mainoo in the midfield, and people were coming at me going, "It's not going to work. It's not going to work." You just seen how good Mainoo was, didn't you, the other night? Like that guy is silky smooth. He is silky smooth, and this is going to factor in now coming into the Man United signings. What we're going to be making now. Sir Jim needs to get these next 3 windows, summer, winter, summer, correct. Because if he doesn't, Kobie Mainoo will be, and I've said, you've heard me say it many a time, he'll be going to play with Bellingham at Real Madrid because he is too good to be in a mediocre team.
Oh no, Tenno, but let me not talk about Kobe now. Right now, with that, right now, too much. Can't,
I,
Kobe,
did
it's
you
not
see that,
stuck. But
Mark? Willie Campbell isn't signing a new contract.
yeah, but you know, you wanna know something? I was hearing something, and Mick was saying something before, and it's not
Yeah.
really like he don't want to stay. I feel like more he wants a little bit better terms. You know what I
I think
mean?
he wants assurances out, doesn't he? Because I mean, if you think this, if we obviously we've got Ligt, yeah.
Hmm.
I think Johnny Evans is going to stay. He's finished now, but we're going to renegotiate his contract, which I'm fine with keeping Johnny Evans as as a backup player. I know he's old, but he's decent still. You know, we can play him in lesser games,
He
take
could
the
like
strain
use
off the
better
first
than us.
teamers. But if we sign, I still think we're going to get Brantwaite as well as Dillis. I do. I
Possibly.
really do. I do. Now, from Willie Campbell's viewpoint, he's going to be thinking, right there, Martinez fit, Brantwaite in, Dillit in. Where does this leave me? You understand what I'm saying? And
True.
that's fair viewpoint from him, isn't it? You know what I mean? He's like, well, you know what? I've been in your academy, like you're getting players in, you're not playing me.
I mean, in one way I could understand that perspective, but in another way I would say this, you know what I mean? In my honest opinion, I think Willie Kwambala had to back himself and fight for a chance. You know what I mean?
Well,
He
this is
can't
it. Yeah,
expect a gift. And you know, to be fair, Garnacho was bled into the team in a similar fashion the season before.
yeah,
You know, so for me, players like him and Ahmad, they got some chances last season in some critical games that showed that the manager looking at them. You know what I mean? And they've
yeah,
done well, and I think you will definitely be seeing more of them this season. But realistically, we need to revamp the back line. So, you know, it was always going to have two or three players coming in. It
yeah,
probably, if it didn't happen this summer, it might have happened in the winter, it might happen next summer. You know, so what we're saying is that, you know, every time more competition comes, a guy decide he not keeping his contract, he don't want to fight. This is, you know, for me, I understand if he want to get better terms, because I feel like, you know, for me, Willie Kwambala should be in the region of 90K. He probably on 20K, which is the
yeah.
first professional contract. So maybe they should, maybe he want to upgrade, and I think that might be fair. You know what I
That's
mean, to
fair enough. Yeah,
argue. You
yeah,
know what I mean? So in my honest opinion, I'll wait to see how it is. You know, if it is the case where he really doesn't want to say, or you want assurances, that we wait and see for the news. Because I don't want to speculate about it, because at the end of the day, he's a talent. I would like
yeah.
to see him flourish at United. I think Eric Ten Hag has some favor for him, you know. So let's
I
see how
don't
it
want to
goes.
see him go.
No, I don't want to see him
Kwambala.
go either. I
I don't
think
like.
I
I
was
don't.
always thinking this season would be one of his a season where he would play a lot of football. You know, we have four competitions, and I look at it like this, in the sense that maybe, you know, Kambala, he mightn't start the games, but he will
Yeah.
definitely be the first choice backup. You know what I mean?
He
And
get
in
his
my own,
moments out, Mark, won't he? You know what I mean? The
exactly,
Europa League and things like that,
it have
won't he? Yeah.
Europa League, it have FA Cup, it have Carabao Cup.
Carabao Cup. Yeah.
You understand? So it have four leagues to play, lots of games. Everybody will get the chance. So especially when you know that the squad in a position where each player, whether they was there before or they're there now, they have to prove themselves to the
Yeah.
structure.
Well,
It's not just about the manager now, it's about the structure. You know what I'm
and
saying?
competition as well, doesn't it? Makes players play better, doesn't it? It does.
100%.
You need that
100%.
competition because that I think that's where we've seen over the last 10 years where United have lulled,
Hey guys,
where they all right, no, my man.
Big up, Noah.
Um,
big up
where
to you
United have
guys, Mark
lulled,
and
where
Peter. Hey
they've
guys.
not had competition in key positions, have they?
Yeah.
So people have got comfortable, complacent. You know, I'm on a big contract, blah blah, yabba yabba. So yeah, it's good. I mean, so far what INEOS are doing, I mean, obviously it looks like Zirkzee and
Did it so far.
Dillit are in the bag. Yeah, so we'll see what's next. I mean, for me, from my viewpoint, I would get Amrabat back. You know, more
100%.
midfields are better than none. I mean, I think, like I say, I think we'll get Brantwaite. Whether we want to pay 70 million or even 60 million, but there's rumours now at Everton are looking at Scott McTominay, so I think there's a deal there to be done.
Well, yeah, maybe you'll hear what they're saying
Yeah,
about this Brantwood story. Noah,
yeah,
big up to you, bro. I'll have your say in a bit. I know you want to react to the Joshua Zirkzee signing. You know, let me just talk about this delete thing real quick. It's decided that Man United want to sign off, well, a full-blown
yeah,
superstar after Joshua Zirkzee. You know what I mean? Manchester United have a quiet start to the window so far, but you know it's starting to
Yeah.
pick up now that the tournaments are finishing. So the Red Devils reach an agreement to sign Joshua Zirkzee from Bologna. The Dutchman undergoing his medical tomorrow morning and penning a
yeah,
5-year contract. The club
Yeah.
also advanced in talks with Bayern Munich over Matthias de Ligt. As per Florian
Yeah.
Plettenberg, Sky Sports Germany, the journalist posted that we've been told that Matthias de Ligt wants to join Manchester United with immediate effect. He added that talks are advanced between both clubs over the transfer fee. There's already a verbal agreement in place with de Ligt over a long-term deal. De Ligt could be United's second signing after Zirkzee. The Red Devils are working simultaneously on multiple deals. They have finalized the transfer for
yeah,
Zirkzee, and De Ligt could be the next one in line to join the club. The Ajax graduate has already given the green light to reunite with Erik ten Hag. He played some of the best football under the Dutchman in Amsterdam. Rafael Varane's exit, the doors open for De Ligt to come in to cement a starting role with
Yeah.
United. Obviously, we are talking about Willie Kwambala, so there will still be competition. As you know, Willie Kwambala will be starting right centre back so far, unless the letter signed before we play the first game. So far, you know, I mean, he will have his chances. Ligt, who has been described as a full-blown superstar by Bundesliga official website, should be a like-for-like replacement with his strong distribution skills. He should not take much time to adapt, having already worked under Ten Hag for 2.5 seasons at Ajax. He also played next to, you know, the likes of Lisandro Martinez at the time. So aside from Ligt, we are exploring other deals. You know, there's currently the deal on the table for Lenny Euro. We'll talk about that a little bit later. And well, as you were saying, Jared Brantwaite. You know, so as you were saying about Jared Brantwaite, I think that deal is going to be super interesting because, you know, is one of those situations where Jared Brantwaite, we know he's a talented player, but I feel like Everton want too much money for this deal. Now, I'm not saying that we should not do the deal. I'm just saying that in one of those things that, you know, we could get a player in this window for around a lesser fee, maybe another 40 million, with the same kind of profile, in my honest opinion. You know what I mean?
Yes.
Megs, what you saying, broski? What going on? What you think about the Joshua Zirkzee signing? I know you was excited about this signing, so now we have it. Tell me.
Yeah. Listen, guys, about Joshua Zirkzee. Listen, for me, listen, it's a good deal. For 40 million around. Listen, it's a good price. Listen, I know, and listen, I know next season for him. I know there will be a lot of expectation from him. We don't know how long it's gonna be. I know because next season I know the new coaching staff. Ruud van Nistelrooy, even Rennie Harkane. They're gonna work so hard on him. It's not just gonna be him. It's also
I
Rasmussen.
know
That's
Ligt
gonna
as well now.
yeah. It is gonna be definitely maybe next season. It could be change. It will take time, but it cannot be changing until this one day. But I know, listen, I know the medical stuff is tomorrow. It will be finished, in my opinion. Listen, I think he might score maybe in 10 goals, but I think he might be taking a round in 5 assists, in my opinion. That's in case. But the only thing that I didn't like, the about the Everton situation of Brantwaite. I think we cannot afford that much money, around in 65 to 70 million, in my opinion, because we cannot afford it. If we afford it, that means we might not buy some good midfielders or even a good wingers, in my opinion, or even the left back. So that our focus, main thing that we already get is that the Leeds, the center back, what is his name? I think Lemmy Ron, right?
Yeah,
It's already
possibly.
been accepted, that deal. So it's up to him to decide whether if he wants to go to Real Madrid or to Man United. So I hope if he accepts Man United, that would be good for us. So let's see
You
what
know what? No,
happens.
I was thinking about it, dude, before,
Mm,
and I think because he's such young in his career at this moment in time, I think a better move for him would be Man United if he really wants to, then go to Real Madrid. I think it would be better for him to learn refine his game more at Man United because the
yeah,
pressure on him at Real Madrid is going to be more than Man United for him.
yeah, yeah.
That's just
Listen,
my opinion, but I think it's up to him, isn't it? At the end of the day, isn't it?
yeah. Listen, I know there's also expectations for him. I know whether if he goes to Real Madrid, they have a lot of best players that they have. I know, for
Yeah,
example, right now, you can take some examples of the past. Right now, they have, I forgot the names, but anyway, listen, I know he'll be in the bench, but he'll not be starting on the lineup, in my opinion, if he goes to Real Madrid. But if he
but
comes to Man
he won't
United,
now.
it will take time. Whether if it's Lisandro Martinez, if he gets injured again, he could get an opportunity with Ligt.
This is it.
That's my opinion. So
It don't even
whether
have to be an injury to my bro. Like I just feel like if he come to Man United, he definitely will get rotational minutes. And if he prove himself to be performing, he probably might be starting. Right now, you have to look at it like this. Lissandro might be the main starting left back that we know from last season. But come this season, he had to earn that position still. You understand the flow?
Yeah.
You know what I mean? With the competition coming in, the best man win, bro. At the end of the day,
Well,
this is why we have our bench.
Mark,
yeah.
Mark, I know. Okay. I know there's expectations. I know we're spending good money right now. In my opinion, we're getting so much good right now. Ever since
Value for money.
came,
No, it isn't it? Yeah.
I know.
That's what we're
Listen,
doing.
yeah, that's what we're doing. A good business. I know. We're selling, Mason Greenwood. I know the deal right now hasn't been coming up right now because I know. Listen, if we get a good deal, in my opinion, that would be fine.
Yeah.
But the only thing is left that is Sancho as well. The also even Anthony, even so many players. We need to get rid of them as soon as
Yeah.
possible, so that we need to start afresh, so that we can finish it around in top 4. That's in my opinion, or whether if we can get the FA Cup like we did last season, or
Yeah.
maybe
Or
Carabao
even
Cup,
Europa League.
or Europa League.
Yeah.
But I don't know about the Premier League. Listen, the title race,
No, we're not going to win
we
that.
have long way to go because it might take 2 or 3. It depends on it.
Season. Yeah.
It depends.
Forget the Premier League for now. With the squad that we building, right? Because in reality, we could say we might win it for 3 years, but you never know what miracles can happen between the next 18 months,
Well, you
right?
don't.
So we could just leave it as that. But
Yeah,
with the possibilities and the new signings that we probably will be coming in, I will just read this article in a little bit, but it's like, it gives me a little bit of more confidence than I had going into last season. You know,
Yeah.
yeah,
the fact that we're getting players who not only younger, physically fitter in some cases, but they're coming in and they suit the way that United want to play. United want to play attacking, expansive football, high intensity, and these players
yeah,
scream that to me. So I feeling a little bit more comfortable, and then like most people, I think some people might be honest, but I will be honest, I didn't really wasn't excited about INEOS, the percentage stake. I wanted a full
Yeah.
sale, but
yeah.
I would say so far some of the things that they've done consistently have been saying
Good.
to me,
It's not
listen,
that bad.
let them fellas do the work. Let we sit back and let we assess, give them the season and see what the fruits of that labor will become. And then we could make a decision on whether they perform or they're not. But they're looking like they're doing a job. They said they wanted Dan Ashworth, he is here.
Yeah.
They said they wanted
Yeah,
Wilcox, he is here. They wanted
Yeah.
Van Nistelrooy, he is
yeah.
here. Rene Hacker, here. We
Omar
didn't know
Berger.
we wanted Christian
Barada.
Hooper, and he's here.
Well,
Barada, same.
the thing is, Mark, I echo what you're saying there. What INEOS are doing, they're moving like what they are, a professional outfit
Yeah,
who do business. And when they go into business, obviously, from a viewpoint, you've, as in what the business they've come into now, football, Man United, you've got to entertain the crowd. You've got to generate money. I mean, Man United generates money for itself anyway, to a certain degree.
yeah,
But you
Yeah,
have to be business-like and go, what's going to be the best for this product to go forward? Whereas the Glazers were buying it just to sell shirts, buying players just to sell shirts for their own profit. INEOS are flipping it, aren't they? They're doing it the other way and going, well, that's not the way to do business. You've got to
yeah,
have a sustainability about it.
100%. You see, the
yeah,
biggest thing for me is that the biggest mistake for the Glazers, right, Peter? And I don't know if some one of them might hear me say this, but I had to say it. Imagine United have 500 million fans, Peter. Just think about it.
Yeah,
Just think about
yeah,
with the current way they run in the club. Let's say 100 million is who actually buying merchandise.
yeah.
What if this club started winning again, boy?
So,
You could imagine the amount of money these guys will be swimming in. And now, while we
yeah,
could think about it and imagine it, I mean, it will
mm,
happen because the way it seems, this club is moving forward. You know, it's a long time since we were so efficient doing
Yeah.
deals, doing multiple. I can't remember when last we do multiple deals at the same time.
We haven't, have we?
You know what I
For
mean?
10
Players
years, we
leaving,
haven't.
Yeah.
Yeah.
players coming in. Yeah, bro, I feeling like it's Christmas a little bit. I ain't trying to get giddy, but I feeling a little Christmas like because it looking some.
The thing is, Mark, I mean, I know it, yeah. You think about this, you know, we've got so much what they call in England an expression. We have so many irons in the fire. Yeah.
Hmm.
So, you know, you put 4 irons in the fire, and maybe you're not going to get all 4 of them out, but at least you get 1, maybe 2 out, to coin a phrase. Under
Mm.
Woodward and Arnold and Murta, yeah, they've actually blown more money and couldn't negotiate more than 1 deal at a time. INEOS have come in, and not only in negotiating multiple deals at the same time, they're also doing them at a lesser pay.
Yeah.
It's crazy. It just goes to show you how incompetent them people were doing the deals for Man United.
Yes.
It's like a kid giving a kid at £10 million and go to a sweet shop and go and buy what you want. You know
Hundred
what I
percent,
mean?
hundred
It
percent.
was crazy what was going on at Man United.
Before you
Yeah.
react, Noah, I want to hear your thoughts on this article here because we was talking about the two of these guys and which one should United sign or should we be getting both? You know what I mean? This is a neat little
Yeah.
article that kind of gave a
Mm.
little bit of perspective on both of them. You know, so I look
Listen.
I'd
at it,
take either one of them or both. Actually, I'd take both. But
bro. I mean, right now we need to
Listen.
rebuild. I think having a start. You know, I heard somebody said having a $50 million player on the bench don't make sense, and I'm like,
Yeah.
of course,
wait,
yeah.
your bench supposed
Listen.
to be able to replace the players in your first team at any given moment,
Yeah.
right? So
Mark.
it might as well have a guy who just as good, if not better, sitting on the bench because you know there's no drop
Mm.
off. But
Yeah.
anyway, Lilsey and
Yeah.
Euro, Everton's Gerard Brantwaite are the two defenders
Yeah.
Manchester United have been most heavily linked with thus far this summer. Both are pretty damn exciting options. But which centre back should they sign? Let me take a look. Area ability, you know, standing at 1 billion
Mm.
feet tall, 6'5" to be exact. Gerard Brantwaite wins in this category and he wins by 1 goal and 2 inches of height to be exact. Euro is certainly no slouch in aerial duels, the French defender having the 5th best aerial duel success rate in League One during the last season 23-24. But what Brantwaite possesses is just a slightly on another level of physicality right now.
Yeah.
Playing under Sean Dyche certainly allowed him to hone his craft of thumping the ball with his head. You know, in possession though, however,
Mm.
this youngster is the one that takes the top notch. While not the most progressive
Yeah.
passer of the ball, Euro has been brilliant just keeping things simple in possession since breaking through at Lille. You know what I mean? He actually completed
Yeah.
the second most passes in League One this season with a rather staggering 94% pass rate. As expected
Yeah.
for a defender playing under Dyche, Brantwaite passing wasn't quite as accurate, only completing 79% throughout the 23-24 season. However, However, if you want a defender who gets on the front foot and throws his head at every single ball and puts his body on the line, then Brantwaite is your man. If you want a defender
Mm.
who reads the game, has great recovery pace, and sweeps up play effectively, then Euro is your
Mm.
guy. With that
Mm.
in mind, we'll have to declare a draw on the category because you know the potential for those two players are almost endless. If you look at their performances, they are both young. I mean, Euro is what, only 17, about to turn 18, and Gerard Brantwaite is 22. So I feel like the both options are very good for Manchester United. You know, it would bode well for us to sign both of them. It would be a big statement for the club
Oof.
if we could do that
I'd
deal
love it.
because I think it would be very exciting to have these two options. One is left-footed, one is right-footed. You know what I mean? The one that is
That's a good.
right-footed,
That's a good centre back pairing right there, isn't it?
yeah, right there. You know what
Yeah.
I'm saying?
Right there, it is.
So,
They
you know,
both got
guys,
different attributes, both different physicality. Yeah, and they just complement each other, don't they?
Mm.
100%. You know, one is a bruise, one is a aggressor, and one is a composer.
It's more refined. Yeah,
You
I mean,
understand?
I've seen Brantford play in the flesh. last season at Old Trafford. And I'll tell you now, he's a man mountain. His pictures don't do him justice. He is built like a brick one. You know what I mean? He is massive. You don't understand. In real life, he's physically big.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
I've seen
And he's
him.
quite big for his frame. Yeah,
I've seen
fast.
him in
Sorry, for his
training
frame.
over
Yeah.
in Frankfurt for the Euros now, when I was there to watch the game earlier
Yeah.
on in the first couple of games, you know. So I saw him. He's a pretty big guy. I didn't expect him to look that big, you know what I mean, to be honest.
Yeah.
But Euros no slouch either. You know, Noah, what are your thoughts on these two guys? I don't know if you heard the description of the two of them, the comparison. One is more
Wait, I'll be
of a
back.
very
Wait,
good in your
a second.
face, very combative player. The next one is read the game a little bit more differently. Oh no, it disappears. What happened there?
Yeah. The only
When
problem
you
is, Mark, I mean, if you look at it from face value, I suppose what Brantwaite has in his favour is he's had a season under his belt in the Premiership from that viewpoint. So, and obviously he's English, you know what I mean? And I don't
yeah,
mean that in a pedantic way. It's, you need X amount of homegrown players in your squad for UEFA rules, don't you? You know what I
yeah.
mean?
Well, you
So,
see, the thing with that, I think Sir Jim Ratcliffe had a clever ploy because they promoted. Well, currently it was 7, but now the current number is 9
yeah,
youngsters into the first team, right? With new contracts, new professional contracts,
yeah,
which kind of solves the homegrown quota to an extent. You know what I mean? But of course, some of them will be going on loan and whatnot and whatnot. This is one thing that I have been wondering myself about Brantwaite, to be fair. Otherwise, I think is going to be a good signing. And maybe the player wasn't that player that he was in PSV that last season, that he
yeah.
probably will come. And the question is a lot of, and Jarwick asked it to me before I had it myself, why didn't Rude sign him when he was at PSV? Because they had an option to buy him for 12 million and they offered 6 and walk away. But
Yeah.
at the same time, two things I would say. PSV is not a hugely wealthy club. You know what I'm
No, they're
saying?
not. No.
So that might be another reason partially. But at the same time, you do have a point there. Maybe if he was that brilliant, they might have broken the bank for him. But I
Yeah.
mean, that's basically subjectivity at this point, in my honest
I mean,
opinion.
I mean, the end of the day, I mean, if we could get both of them as well as Ligt, I mean, yeah. Like I say, you can understand why Camp Weller is sending out a little bit of vibes as well.
Mhm.
If you get Yoro and Brantwaite as well as Ligt, yeah, I'm down a pecking order, and I can understand his viewpoint from there. I think one of the two. I would be happy with Yoro or Brantwaite. So I'll just go with the judgment of INEOS, and maybe it's going to come down to the player, isn't it? Who wants to play for Man United? You know what I'm saying, Mark? Obviously, from what we've heard, we don't know whether it's true or what, but Yoro is holding out he wants to play for Madrid, and Brantwaite is kind of. I'm not going to push for the move from Everton, but yeah, I've agreed terms with Man United. The price is the stumbling block in it. So I think we're going to get _ZIRKZEE delit over the line, and then we're going to move on Greenwood, Sanchez. I know Fulham and Everton are kind of looking at Scott McTominay.
Fulham as
So
well.
that we've got a bargaining chip for Everton with Scott McTominay. I mean, we could turn around and say to Everton, 35 million and Scott McTominay for Brantwaite.
I mean,
Possible.
I will agree with that. To be fair,
That's a
I'll be
possible
honest. I'll
deal.
take that.
Yeah,
The only two things I worry about in this situation, and I'll have a lot of reports coming up in Germany lately about these players and thing as well. And
yeah,
big up to Tommy Boyle. He also thinks it would be a good idea to spend the money, splash the cash, get both of them, put them on
yeah,
5-year contracts, and let them grow under the tutelage of Ligt
yeah,
and Martinez. I think that's also a good situation
yeah,
as well. Campos is saying that Euro can also play right back. Brantwaite can play full back as well. Interesting, left back, we're missing one, we need one. There are some reports about left backs, guys. There are 3 left backs that we're looking at right now. and we'll talk about that a little bit after. You know, Rude will probably tell the people above Brantwaite, we don't know Jarwick, you know what I mean? I know
I mean,
you're
I can
banging this
understand
drum.
people being a bit thingy about Brantwaite. What you got to understand is with Brantwaite, he's had a really good season in a team that's been struggling, Everton. When you get a defender who can play well in a team, let's make no bones about it. Everton were fighting relegation for a long period of the season, and he was excelling. That means he is a good player because
100%.
he's putting performances in. So you have to look at it at face value. And look how big he is there, Brantford, the Chris size
Bro, the
there.
guy is a big fella. He
He's
is
a
a
big
big fella.
lad.
He is a big hunk of a guy, to be fair. Like I was watching the training, and trust me, I 6'1.5", probably 6'2" even
Yeah,
without shoes. You know what I mean? And this
yeah,
guy a little bit bigger than me, bro. So you know what? Trust me, he up there. And you know, this is the one thing that concerning me because I hear a lot of reports talking about this recently over the last couple of days, and I just haven't really said anything because you know I don't make the news. I just report on it a little bit. You know what I'm saying? So Everton planning to give him a new deal. You know what I mean? Currently, you know, he
yeah,
on 20K at Everton. They planning to offer him They are planning to offer him somewhere in the region of 75 to 85K, which will be one of their top earners at the club. You know what I mean? And they're trying
yeah.
to do this because they want to tie him to another contract so they could actually make sure and put a release clause on his contract for
Well,
100
I
million.
mean, you know what I'm saying, Matt? They're only doing what any other club does. They're looking after their own interests, aren't they? You can't blame
100%,
Everton for doing
100%,
that. I mean,
100%.
Jar Wick has put a question there to Mark and Peter. Do you guys think that one midfielder, Ugarte, is enough? No, I don't. We need
100%
Ugarte.
no.
We need to get Amrabat back, because we never got the potential out of him, out of Amrabat. And I think we still need another midfielder on top of that as well.
Well,
Although we've got academy boys that could come through. That's what before I crack on. Have you seen Will Fish in training, Mark?
yeah, I have
At
seen him.
Canton.
He's put on some severe poundage, I can tell you that.
He's bulking out as well, isn't he? Fair
He's
play.
looking like a
Yeah,
right rock
yeah,
sinner, a right
yeah.
adult, like a right adult. And as you
We've
talk
got
about
some.
it, I'm sorry about that, there, Peter.
Yeah,
As you
yeah,
guys talk
no,
about the midfielder, you know, this is the current news that's going on. 50 million pounds.
yeah,
They would saying now, guys, 50 million pounds is 60 million euros. So I would
yeah,
say take this with a pinch of salt because 100%. I've heard other reports that we are going to spend somewhere in the region of 40 million pounds plus five in add-ons, million euros as a matter of
yeah,
fact. So it will be 45 million euros, and you know, we're trying to the real negotiation is similar to the Joshua Zirkzee situation, where we're trying to pay them 20 and then pay them the balance over the next two
yeah.
years. So it's one of those things where this will be very interesting. As you were just talking about it, you know, Manuel Ugarte, this guy has an engine like no other, very good destroyer. And trust me, I don't think what him alone is enough. Now,
He's got a
as you
good
were
engine on him now, Mark. I know Ugarte.
very good engine on this guy, and
I mean,
he
I think PSG are going to go for Neves. I know
but
we was can't. I think it was a bit pie in the sky. Man United going to get Joao Neves. I do. So
don't
if
stress too
PSG
much
make
yet.
a move for Neves, then Ugarte will come to us
No, I
because
mean
he.
I think regardless of whether they move for Neves or not, Ugarte is coming. That's what
Yeah,
I think because I've heard some reports that you know he really wasn't trying to do the deal while he was on Copa
this is
America
it. See,
duty,
yeah, plays it in
but
tournaments, Mark, isn't it? See, you know what I mean?
exactly. But he's very much open to coming to Man United. He knows that he will be getting game time. He's
Yeah,
excited for that option. He always wanted to have a crack at the Premier League as well, you know. And who better than the 20-time English champions? No, the thing
exactly.
is, we now if we buy Ugarte, yes, we possibly given you know PSG some buying power to probably reinvest that money to purchase you know Joao Neves. At the
Yeah,
same time, there have been some reports saying that even though United have planned to walk away, they have not yet actually walked away from the Joao Neves deal.
yeah.
And that is very interesting because Judging Sir Jim on his negotiations thus far, if I have anything to think about, they probably have an idea in place. And like for the longest period, I've just been thinking it about like this. They
I
want to
think the
get
problem.
to
Sorry,
a
Mark, man.
point. They want to get to a point with Joao Neves and Benfica that listen, if we pay you this much, you go and release him. And they say, well, okay, yeah, if you come with our money, you could get him. We will
Yeah,
negotiate a deal with Joao Neves because I heard some reports that the terms is not an issue, right? So if terms is not an issue, they probably proceeded with a phone call and said, probably, listen, we would like to get you. If you were to like to come here, we would probably like to pay this much. Does that, make sense? And the agent
yeah,
probably say, well, yeah, that's in the ballpark. And, now maybe we look to get the Ugarte deal over the line. We get the Ligt deal over the line. Then
yeah.
Euro have a contract in front of him. I'm pretty sure I have some confidence that probably by Wednesday next week, then Euro might probably say, you know what, Madrid, y'all don't want to pay for me? Well, all right. I will show you all why you'll have to come and pay for me in a 3 years at Manchester United for 100
I mean,
mil.
I mean, the thing is, Mark. I mean, like we're going back there with Yoro
Mm-hmm.
when apparently he said he wants to play for Real Madrid, and you know, once we get ZIRKZEE and De Ligt out of the way, yeah, and obviously from Monday, is it Monday? We're on tour, yeah. We're then obviously will be focusing and accelerating other deals. Now, Yoro's got to make a decision and say, well, you know what, like I can't sit on the fence here. Do I want to play for Man United, or they could move for Brantwaite and go, you know what, okay, we don't want you. Tell us what you want to do. Do you want to come here? Yes or no?
Yeah, I
Because I
mean,
think this is what INEOS are going to do. They're not going to hang around for players. They're going to say, here's the offer, here's the deal. Do you want it? Yes or no?
well, for me, I think the fact that he didn't refuse means that he's very much contemplating and it's very much a 50-50 situation.
Yeah,
Maybe he say out of respect for the fact that he does. Sorry guys, out of respect for the fact that he does really want to play for Real
Madrid.
Madrid, or
Yeah,
his dream is to play for Real Madrid. I think he probably said, you know what, guys, let me see if by Monday or Tuesday they will come in. Man United gave him 2 weeks to decide when they put the bid in, so that was 2 weeks from Wednesday. I was Wednesday. No, 2 weeks. Yeah,
I
2 weeks
mean,
from Wednesday or Thursday.
the
Thursday,
end of the day,
Tuesday.
Mark. Yeah, if his ultimate desire is to play for Real Madrid, then he's no good for Man United, is he?
No, I don't really agree with that in
Simple
the
as that.
sense that I think many players over the course of their career might initially want to dream about playing for a certain club growing up and play the actuality of playing for that club. Like we just say, it's slim to none. It's already a 1%
Yeah,
chance you're going to become a professional footballer. Is 1% of those professionals is get to go to the clubs that they actually want to go to. So
yeah.
maybe it's a situation where, this is a young guy with dreams, just like, maybe a young Cristiano Ronaldo, or
Well, of
not saying
course.
he on that
Yeah,
level, but, just a young guy with dreams. And yeah, he say what he say, but you know what? The reality is a next big club coming from him. They want me. They put this money on the table. They willing
yeah,
to have me. I want to step up. You know what I mean? And if the club that don't want me, that I want to go at, they don't really want me as much as I think they would have wanted me, or they want me but they don't want to pay for me, well, you know what? Later on we could discuss them. I will move on. My career have to move on. His
yeah,
agents, his parents are going to dictate, going to talk to him. They're going to say, listen, we know you want Madrid, but you could develop at Man United. You could get to the level where you're
and then get
facing
you moved
Madrid in a
later on.
Champions
Yeah,
League,
yeah,
and you could always move there. In 5 years, you're going to be 23 years old. You could play 5 years at United and then play
yeah.
5 years at Madrid and still not be 30.
Same as
You understand?
Cristiano, isn't it? To a degree.
Exactly. So
Yeah,
for me, it's one of those things when I look at it, I'm not too bothered the fact that he originally has this dream about playing for Madrid. Most players have these thoughts in their mind. You know what I
yeah.
mean? Now the
Especially
reality,
the Latino
especially
type of players,
the
isn't it?
Latinos, the French,
Yeah,
the
it
French,
is. Yeah,
the Portuguese, even
yeah,
Caribbean boys, even the Caribbean boys,
yeah.
bro. Some of them will
It's
want to
Madrid
go
or
to.
Barca for them, isn't it?
Yeah, Barca.
It is.
You know what I mean. So in all fairness, I just hope that he make a decision best for his career. Because reality is, I believe that it is more likely he would get starting minutes at United than at Real
Well,
Madrid.
I mean, I was looking at. I think it wasn't David Ornstein. I'm not too sure whether it's Jordan Street. He was saying that Madrid, if they were successful in getting Yoro, they would loan him out straight away for the season because
Ex-
they do have a track record of doing that. Madrid, don't they?
Not
When they
only
buy
that,
young
but
talent, they loan them
they
out,
have
don't they?
two young centre
Yeah,
backs that was on loan this season
yeah,
that coming back. You
yeah.
understand? And they would be above him. He would have to compete with them first. So
This is it. So it's like you just said there perfectly. You said it perfectly. Do you want to go and sign for your dream team, Real Madrid, but you're not going to play for them? You'll probably get loaned out to loan your Spurs somewhere else. Or why don't you just go and sign for Man United? Yeah, you'll get game time, most probably, most of the time. You'll get better experience than being on the loan because you'll be playing in the Premiership, which, in my opinion, is still the best league in the world. So, and then when you move on to Real Madrid, you'll be the finished article.
100%.
That,
No,
that's how
that
you got to look at it. You know what I'm saying? You have to.
100%. You know what I mean? So I'm not saying it's 100% that we go and get Euro, but I'm saying it's more 50-50 than anyone else thinks. You know, a lot of people might be saying no chance in hell, 20%, 1%. It's 50-50 because let me be real honest. If he was really hell bent on Madrid, Peter,
He
he would
wouldn't
have
talk to
rejected the
us now.
offer.
Well,
He would have rejected the offer a long time.
yeah,
That offer,
but
it would have been
yeah,
like, oh, player rejected the next day, 24 hours, 48 hours, player reject. But he is considering it, and this is what fans need to, just let it happen. It will come. The good energy is coming to United. You know what I mean? It have a few other interesting things coming through. You know,
yeah,
we talk about Ugarte, we talk about Euro, we talked about Jared Brantwaite, and it had some interesting new reports coming out recently that we were in conversation with Danny Olmo's agents. Of
yeah,
course, there's some interesting things to say about Danny Olmo. I think he had a pretty good Euro so far. At the same time, big up to you, Big Booty Latina Hunter. Copa coming to an end, bro. You know what I mean? You had to come back to Europe soon, right? But anyway, you know what I mean? Like, I think it would be interesting. I think Danny Olmo is a very good player. If I have to take Bruno off the field, I think having a Danny Olmo as an option to come on in place of Bruno fills me with a little bit more confidence than Mason Mount.
yeah,
No disrespect to Mount, but I just think that from what I've seen of him over the years, he's one of those players that I would definitely like to have in my midfield. And it's just been reported recently that we've been in talks with him, with his agent, the Red Devils, I believe, to have established their interest in, along with Bundesliga giants Bayern Munich, who currently mulling over a move for the standout performer. Despite arriving in Germany as a backup to Pedri, Olmo was called upon initially as an off-the-bench option before his compatriot sustained a tournament-ending injury. As such, he has started the past two matches. He netted the winning goal against France on Tuesday to book Spain's place in Sunday's final, taking his tally up to 3 goals and 2 assists in 5 appearances and putting himself in pole position to claim this year's Golden Boot award. How much Olmo is expected to cost? Well, Olmo has a 60 million or 50 million pound release
yeah,
clause embedded in his RB Leipzig contract. Although this is only valid until July 20th, giving any interested clubs just over a week to trigger this option or risk Leipzig increasing the asking price, which they will likely do given his stellar performances on the international
of
stage.
course, yeah, of course.
100%. You know what
They
I
will.
mean?
I mean, the thing is, Mark. I mean, it's interesting, isn't it? Because
Mm,
we've heard rumours that maybe Bruno might be going to Saudi,
mm.
which I think personally myself, I think that'd be a good move for Bruno because I don't think he's going to get. Let me put it a different way: is Bruno going to be the future of this Man United project going forward? No,
Well, I
he's
mean,
not.
I think for the next two years, definitely he could be because let me be honest, like not just because he's turning 30 means that is the end of his football career. it doesn't mean that he go and suddenly just become slow.
I mean, I cast my mind back to a few weeks ago when I was on their Mix channel, yeah, and I said, "What you do in business, Mark, when you've got assets, you sell them at a premium. If you're going to fund a new style of, regime, a new style of play, while you've got assets, you sell them at a premium, which obviously we're not going to get the premium for Greenwood, but we can still get decent money. We can get decent money for Sancho. We can get decent money for McTominay. We can get decent money for Casemiro and decent money for Bruno. If you think of them players I've just said there now, 2 seasons from now, they're not going to be playing for Man United.
Well, I
So
mean, one or two
you
of them,
sell
but
them players at a premium to
I mean,
fund your new project.
at the same time, though, like if we sell Bruno Fernandes, my biggest problem is the creativity of Man United dropping to somewhere between 20% and zero. So it's like, I could understand selling your best player in effect because he's 29 years old. At the same time, I don't think it might in the space of flipping the team, you still want to have some consistency because it's Man United. So we
Well,
definitely want to be
yeah,
able to finish in the top four next season because we want to progress to UCL football. You don't want to just depend on Europe or to qualify for Champions League next season.
yeah.
So in my honest opinion, looking from it from the perspective of yes, I do think Bruno come 2028 is going to be the face of Man United. Maybe next summer we move
I
him
mean,
on. You know what I mean? But
it's been,
Saudi, I don't think he'll go to Saudi. In all fairness, I think if we put Bruno on the market, maybe a team the likes of a Real Madrid might come in for him because as a 8, they would probably use him to replace a Modric. You know what I mean? Like as much as they have a Tuchemeni and a Camavinga, them boys still need a little bit of experience. They're not up to it yet, as you can see the performances for France. You know what I mean?
yeah.
So I
I
would
mean,
think that with Tony Cruz retiring, Modric retiring, Bruno is something that could
yeah.
become a hot commodity.
Well, yeah, this is what I'm saying, Mark, and I think the Saudis will, pay real good money for him
Yeah,
because obviously
100%.
they're seeing him as, it'll be a marquee signing for that league, and I just think it's an opportunity. What it is, and don't get me wrong, I'm not saying he's been bad for us, Bruno, especially constitutional wise, as in his fitness. The guy's never injured, is he? So but sometimes you have to sell things while you've got optimum value on that product. You understand what I'm saying? I mean, if let's put it this way, if you would want Neves, and that meant selling Bruno, you'd sell Bruno to get Neves, wouldn't you?
Yeah, I probably would do that. I probably would.
Exactly. This is what I'm saying. So you have to look at your assets, look at the value of them, project the value of them to 2 seasons from now, which sounds a lot from now, but it's not. A lot of things can happen in 2 seasons. Players can get injuries, breakages, whatever. Touch wood. It doesn't happen to any player, but you never know what's going to happen. While that player is now at his in his prime, 29, at his optimum value, and you're looking to rebuild something, and you see a younger player that potentially could be just as good as him, you sell him on and make the deal.
Yeah, I mean, can't
That's what I
dispute
would do
that.
anyway.
Can't dispute that. To be fair, bro. Like
But
if
uh,
it's one thing I just do is try to keep it 100% honest, bro. As much as I like a player, bro, I'm not going and say, you know what I mean? I'm not going to say let's keep this player just because it's for vibes. For me, it's
yeah,
not about vibes, bro.
right. I mean, the thing is, what it is, Mark. But right, I think what a lot of us are starting to understand now with INEOS as well. You've got to read between the lines. We're breaking that. How can I put it? That sleeplessness that Man United was in. We were like a sleeping giant again. We were just like kind of just, how can I put it? When you've had a few spliffs and you just like droning out, like giving it, yeah, okay, man, yeah, you know what I mean? One of them. And Ineos are like, wake up, get out of it, come on, wake up. We got to break this. How'd you break it? The players who were making you be that way, you got to ship out like. That's what you have to do. It's like we're going to get young, vibrant players in who are going to give us a new dynamic. You're going to make a good living, but guess what? You're going to earn it. You're not going to get a good
100%.
living straight away. And this is what they're doing. Yeah, like Superfly said there, breaking the mold. It's right, breaking the mold. You've got to get young,
100%.
vibrant players in, not players who are too comfortable. You're changing the old dynamics of the club and the team. Any players who are comfortable in this team need to go, because you're saying to the team, the squad, do not get comfortable in your position because you can easily be replaced, and we will do it. Like I said, straight away, they should have sold Rashford to PSG straight away. Get rid. Doesn't mean to say he's a bad player, this and that, but he's part of the old regime, part of the old mindset. That's the words I was looking for. Part of the old mindset, which is not going to happen anymore at Man United. And you get rid of it. You get new players in. You mould them to your philosophy. This, like I said on previous shows, they're going to come in, INEOS, put down their template of what they want to do, and they will buy players, profile players, that will fit in that regime. It doesn't matter who you are. If you don't fit in that regime, you will be taken out and replaced. That's how businesses work. They take you out of the game. This is how we want to do it. And INEOS, you're seeing INEOS do it now, right in front of your eyes. They're starting that process straight away. And goes back to what I said, is you've got like Bruno, Rashford, players like them, at optimum price now, get rid. Don't keep them, get rid. Even if it means next season you get other players in and your performances drop off while the new team is gelling, but you're thinking about the future. That's what you're doing. You're getting players in to take you forward. Sometimes you have to go a little bit backwards to go forward. You understand what
100%.
I'm saying, bud?
Yeah, 100%, bro. You know, if it's one thing, I know, progress is not always linear, you know.
It's not, no. But I mean, we need to talk about a left back, don't we? Because we need a left back, don't we? I mean, people are saying Ari Amas. Is that guy ready? I mean, we shouldn't have sold Alvaro, should we, really? But
I don't understand how that was allowed to happen, but
no, I don't get that.
sometimes.
I don't. But I mean, last time I looked, we was looking at Serge Reguilon again, and it's like I can't see any gravity in that decision because Eric Ten Hag didn't really play him anyway, did he? I mean, I don't know what's happened to Tyrell Malacia. I mean, he's just fell off an edge, hasn't he? You know what I mean? I don't know.
Technically, that's something that we had to take blame for as a football club at the same time,
Yeah.
bro. Because if it's one thing I could say is that, technically we botched his surgery that have him in the situation he is. It's not like if we, he wanted to be in that situation. So, it's just one of those things. So for me, I look at it from the perspective that, we had to do what we have to do. At the end of the day, we had to get players in, get players out. We had to rotate the squad. If it take 2 or 3 windows, we had to be patient as fans because, we deal with 10 years of mismanagement and rubbish, bro.
Yeah.
And the dross that we build up, the gunk that built up in the in the crevices and the corners that wasn't swept out properly for that decade. It could take time to clean. You know what I mean?
It's the damage they done, Mark, wasn't it? I mean, at the end of the day, you got to look at it this way. I mean, we all say, we hate this plays out, McTominay's crap, blah, 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 this and that. You can't blame these players if someone's going to turn around and say to them, here's 200 grand a week for 5 years. Do you want it? Yeah, go on then, I'll take it. No, that's not the player's fault, is it? If someone said to you, Mark, do you want 250 grand a week, mate, for 5 years? You're a shit football player, but you're going to go, can I think about it for like 10 seconds? Yeah, go on then, I'll have it. So that's decisions that other people have made. What INEOS are now straightening out and putting right. This is, again, factors in what I said before. You've got players like Rashford. Do you think Rashford, seriously, and or not, I'm asking you a serious question now. Do you think Rashford will bang in 30 goals next season?
Not a
No chance.
chance.
No chance. He won't do it. So you sell him now. You sell him. But he's still got a bit of value. You get rid. You get rid of that guy. Yeah. Same with Bruno. He's coming at 29, coming up to 30. He's a seasoned pro. You're looking to be a young dynamic team. Get rid. Look at Pep Guardiola. Kevin De Bruyne is going to be going. Look how good Kevin De Bruyne is. But Pep knows when an horse has run his race. It's like, goodbye, you're done. Next.
100%.
Same with Gundogan. Goodbye, you're gone. Next one.
Next
And
one.
that's what you do in business. You sell your commodity, the commodities you have at peak value. And then you get the next production line in. It's a production line, isn't it? That's it. Like it's a bit, and you get the odd player like Real Madrid have had with Luka Modric, who are just one of them unique players that you get value for money out, and that you can get like 12 years of top class play out of them. But they're far and few between them players, aren't they? So you're looking at like Benfica do. Look and Sporting Lisbon. Look at the continuous conveyor belt of players they sell. They buy players cheap, develop them cheap, and sell them at premium value. You know what I mean? That's how you should be doing it. That's how Man United should be doing it now. Get rid of these superstars while they got their value. Goodbye, because there'll always be the next one.
100%. That's how I'm looking at it. And at the same time, it's one of those things. So for me, I look at it like we shouldn't be attached to players in this current moment
No,
in time because we in our rebuild, and whether we like it or not, some of our favorite players will be leaving out that door,
yeah,
whether it's this window, the next window, or the following window. So just be prepared. You have to be open to accepting the new
yeah,
players that coming in and the choices that being made because it's all for the better going forward. This is just how I'm looking at it. You know what I mean? Of course, I'll make my little arguments here and there, but Peter, the reality is this badge, right? You see this badge?
yeah.
More important than the name behind
Of
the back,
course it is.
because it didn't
And
have no
you know
name
what? You
behind
know
the back
what,
of
Matt?
my
This
kits.
you see this. I want players who want to play for that, who want it on the body,
100%, bro.
not for the paycheck. Who go, I don't care about the money. I want that on there. I want to win the Premier League with Man United because 50 years from now, when my bones are in the ground and I'm dead, people will go, look how good so and so was. Look how great he was. Look what he won. That's the players I want. Our, our,
100%.
our team.
100%. It will come, and it will come, guys. This is one thing.
Yeah,
We did it before, we had it before, and we'll
yeah,
have it again. And we were just going through a period where it was tough times, and we didn't have people in the power that had the same vision we have. Now it have guys in power that looking like they have the same vision that we have. So it's
yeah,
one of those things where I mean, you don't have to be giddy. I'm not telling you to be giddy, but you could be excited. You
of
could be
course.
curious about what the future could hold. You could be a little bit hopeful because you know what, this window is much more impressive already than the last window we had last season.
Of course it is. Well, I think it's most impressive since probably Jose Mourinho window was probably the last when we signed Paul Pogba and Lukaku, wasn't it? At the same time, it's not really been exciting since that. I mean, the thing is, I mean, Mark, like you was just saying that, I've opened things like that. You do last season, not this season that's just gone. The FA Cup when we played Man City and they beat us 2-1.
Mm.
Yeah, and then we played them again. Obviously, everyone was there. Every man and his dog was saying Man City is going to beat you again, but we beat them. So nothing is cut and dry in life. You always have a chance. You've got to believe. But the optimum way to win things is to give yourself a better chance of winning things, isn't it? I mean, we done it by hook or crook. If we'd have put our league form in the FA Cup, we wouldn't have beat City. But a one-off cup game, you do not know what's going to happen, do you? You just don't like. And I don't think Man City factored in Kobie Mainoo, did they? Because that guy, like,
You know the fact they in the Stockport Iniesta, but they
Yeah,
forget Kobie. They
yeah,
forget Kobie was
yeah,
there on the pitch. He was to be counted. And you know
yeah,
the funny thing is, guys, like you know, as much as we can laugh about this and enjoy this, because you know a lot of us have been telling people about this youngster and about as other
yeah,
youngsters who will be seen shortly. You know, and they was like, you know, all the guys just overhyping these guys. Now, the funny bit for me, we don't have to talk about Kobie Mainoo. Everybody talking about him for us
yeah.
because his performances,
We
what
already
this youth
know.
man doing.
Uh,
Bro, you remember what them guys say to me on the stream when I tell them, I say, fellas,
yeah,
no one to song like this, but I feel like Kobie Mainoo might be what he is
yeah,
touted to be. Men
he
laugh,
is.
men
But
laugh, and
I seen him.
everything.
I seen it. I was there, Mark, at the youth FA Cup final when we beat Forest 3-1. You know, Reece Bennett, Tango, Mainoo, Garnacho, all them, but like, and Forest. Fair play to them. The Forest team, that young team, the Forest team, looked like a seasoned Premiership team. That they were physically more better than us, and they were kind of smacking us around for a bit. But I tell you what, once we got our foot on the ball, it was over for them. Now,
Yeah, bro.
you think of this last season, it's just gone. Kobie Mainoo won the FA Cup. Season before that, he won the League Cup. Season before that, he won the Youth FA Cup. So the last 3 seasons, Kobie Mainoo's won a major trophy. That's called a serial winner in anyone's book, isn't it?
100%.
You understand what I'm saying? He's a serial winner.
100%.
And
See,
this is what I'm saying, why we have to get these transfer windows correct, because we need the right guys to complement. You don't build a team around any player, but you need the right guys to complement each other. And Kobie Mainoo is a special guy, and we've not seen nowhere near what he's going to be yet. But this guy is going to be a baller. Like, he already is a baller, but you ain't seen the best yet.
I telling you, people are going to be worried, but you know, at the same time, this guy is going to develop really well. I see the manager and him have a good connection. I see his performances week in week out. He's one of those players. He humble. He willing to work hard. He,
Man,
and
that's
get
it.
and improve in everything and every facet of his game continuously. These are the things that you're looking for as a fan when you watch these teams perform. You're watching your team. This is what you want to see. And guys,
Yeah,
we're gonna be enjoying this for years to come. You know, I
yeah,
know you're worried about Kobie leaving, but if you look at some of the signings coming in and some of the young talent we have coming on display, we're going to see them in the next week. We're going to see a lot of these young talents that guys like me talking about for months. And these guys might also be giving Kobie Mainoo a reason to stay at United. You know what
yeah.
I'm saying? So,
We've got
guys,
him there, Mark, haven't we? I know a lot of Man United fans do see the youth. I mean, me and you watch the youth quite a bit. We've got some really seriously good young players coming through. I'm not saying everyone's going to make it, but I'm telling you, if they fulfil their potential, you won't have to bother buying players in the market
this
because
is
we've
it.
we've got them there
Well,
already.
there's what I'm saying because Tenno, I looking at it from this perspective. I seen so many young
Huh?
talent that have the ability and the potential, and we have a
Yeah,
coach, and not only just this one coach, but we have Ruud van Nistelrooy, Rene Hacker.
yeah,
Rene Hacker is brilliant with midfielders, brilliant. The next guy that is brilliant that a lot of people think that just going to be impactful for goalkeeping is Ten Ruler. Ten
yeah,
Ruler. Ten Ruler is actually very good in coaching the playing out from the back with the defense. Very, very good. He's the entire reason why Burnley was able to play out from the back with such confidence in one season. You understand?
yeah,
So look at the progress, look at the different facets coming into play, and look
yeah.
at the
This is
talent
it.
that we have to mold. Bro, next season, and the season after that could be very interesting. We could be talking about signings now, Peter, and come January, possibly even next summer, we could be saying, "Hold up,
Yeah,
we don't want no signings. We want the youth in the first team.
yeah.
You think we want exits?
Or even or even if these young players do come to fruition, Mark, and I think a few of them will do, they will. Shay Lacey is one off the top of my head. Another guy who's had a spike, but he's gone down a bit, but he's making good strides. His shoulder Tory. You know what I mean? He's a good player, but he's learning his trade. You know, they took him out the spotlight, let him develop. There's a lot of players. Will Fish, Reece Bennett, Vitek, the goalkeeper. There's a lot of real good lads who are coming through. And it's like you said there, they need to be managed correctly so they can fulfill their potential. Because we've seen it too many times where we're talking about these top players. Well, you know, Aaron Thingy, what was his name? The Norwegian lad who was in the Youth Cup.
Oh
Uh,
yeah. Hansen Oren.
Aaron, Zidane Iqbal and all them, you know, they've not got there. I mean, people are forgetting this. He's looking a bit bigger than a lot of people haven't seen this yet. Hannibal Medjbri is all of a sudden developed into a bloke. You understand what I'm saying? It's all of a sudden the conditions coming on him. What you see when you see young talent, you're seeing a young man, not a full developed man. All of a sudden, a year or two later, boom, they just put body mass on. And it's not through going to the gym, it's just called growing up, maturing. And Hannibal Medjbri, he's there. He's in training, doing good stuff. Another forgotten guy that is still got talent. you know what I mean? There's guys there that we've got them. And now we're getting, like you said there, Matt, we're getting people in place to manage them correctly. This is the key, to manage these young lads correctly, because you don't sign young lads when they're 8, 9, 10, 12 years old, develop them, and then just throw them out the window because they're not an household name. You know what I mean? You've got to manage them properly, bring them through.
Yeah,
This factors into what I said with INEOS. Sorry, Mike, quick. Where I said, I'll just say this, you know my thoughts about Ten Hag, out all season. I said, give him another season, because you got to give the man kudos. He won the FA Cup under immense pressure.
100%.
He won the FA Cup and beat at that time the best team in the world. Yeah? But INEOS will not leave him to his own devices anymore. They will obviously have sat him down and said, "This is how you're going to do things now, Eric." And I think that's a good thing for him. I really do, because it takes a hell of a lot of background pressure off his shoulders. It really does.
100%. And
I would get rid of Steve McLaren straight away, because I can't see what that guy's doing.
Wallahi.
Jobs for the boys. That's what that guy is. Get rid of him. He's done. Dinosaur. We don't want dinosaur people at Man U. We want young, dynamic, forward-thinking personnel and players at our club to put us back where we should be, at the top.
100%.
And you only get that through youth. That's how you get it.
100% agree there,
People who are hungry and they want to win things. They want to make a name for themselves. Not signing has-beens anymore.
Yeah, I mean, it's come a time when, we have to actually make a change and be the change, and, look at the things that we're doing and be different, And as a United fan, all I could say is right about now is about that time where we need to embrace this change, because it's all we could do. We could say we could say a lot of things about a lot of things, but the reality is, that don't make any sense. And
anyway, Mark, 24th of July, I'll be watching Man United play at my hometown, Chester.
Big up, big up.
I
was trying to get tickets for that game,
At Chester, at Chester in England, Man United at 11 are playing pre-season friendly, £12 a ticket. So I'm one of the guys, Nathan, who will go to United with, he's going in the away end. He's a Chester lad, like me, born and bred like. I'm kind of like, do I support my own team, Chester, or obviously my team, Man United? And it's like, shit, I don't know what to do here.
Well, bro, I go in and try and see if I could get tickets and come through. You know, I will let you know. I'll let you know next week.
12 quid at the Diva Stadium. So, look, I mean, you know, I went there last season. They beat Man United 1-4-0 against Chester, and Annabelle Medjby was playing. You know, all the youngsters, and so they will take a good team there. Man United will, they will.
100%.
So I might live stream it for you if you want.
Yeah,
While
well,
I'm
I
there.
mean, if it is, I can't get a ticket, but you know, I will probably be discussing with you this week. I probably will
Yeah.
try and fly across there for that game. You know, it might be interesting. Have a few beers with Tenno. You know, we could probably do a live party when I come.
Yeah.
So we'll see how it goes.
It's nice. So I mean, because basically what it is. A brief history of Chester. We've always been a little club, you know what I mean? Because where we're situated, 22 miles from Liverpool and Everton, 40 miles from Manchester. So the support's always been for them clubs, not for Chester. I mean, Chester is 6th tier in the English league. We have an average attendance of 2,500 again for
That's
6th
not
tier.
bad though.
That's good. That's really good, Mark. You know what I mean? So, and I'll tell you the fun fact about Chester Stadium, the Diva Stadium. Half of it is in Wales and half is in Chester, in England, because it's built right on the border of Wales and England. Believe it or not. So there's different rules that apply to different ends of the ground. When we was in lockdown, as we was coming out, England, you didn't have to wear the face mask, but in Wales, you still had to wear them. So depending on what end of the ground you was in, people were in a face mask and the others weren't. Crazy.
Crazy stuff, bro.
Crazy stuff, man. But there you go. But yeah, fun fact. But yeah, it's a nice little payday for a little club.
Yeah,
Man United in
that's
town.
you know that's so interesting. And
Yeah,
when it have some big clubs with the size of Man United that
yeah.
would do have these games with these small clubs, and you know I'm pretty sure Man United not taking any of the funds from
No,
the
no.
ticket sales.
But
So it's like you know all these things are meant to be is how the football pyramid is stay alive. You know what I mean? This is one of the reasons why I kind of just be against the Super League because I might
yeah,
possibly
that's it.
harm that.
I mean, Willie Campbell played last season at the Chester with Annabelle and that. You know, you know, there is good players, really good players that come. That you
Interesting.
know in them friendlies because they, you know, United. I mean, Liverpool. Liverpool usually get a game with Chester as well, and they blood a lot of their youngsters and all because Chester will play a full team to get them competitive. You know what I mean? So it's even though it's a friendly, it's going to be like, you know, from Chester's viewpoint, it'd be like a proper game for them.
Well, that's real good, you know, because
Yeah, one of
honestly,
Alien's 30 rooms in his house. DJ Superfly. So this is one of Alien's 30 rooms in his house.
well, I heard about the houses in Chester are pretty huge, bro. So you know, it's one of those things.
I can't understand why you get people, right? Chester's got his poor parts, you know what I mean? I mean, I live in a affluent part. Doesn't mean to say I'm rich, but I do like. But there's houses here where people have like 6, 7, 8 bedrooms, and there's only 2 people living in them. It's like, why don't you just sell it and buy a 2-bedroom apartment and make life easy for yourself? What's the point? You know what I mean? What
True.
is the point? Like, I live half a mile from Chester Zoo, guys. Yeah, and now in the summer, you can hear. Usually, it's about 2, 3 o'clock in the morning. You can actually hear lions roaring at night when they come out. And I'm lying in bed and I can hear it like shit. Please don't say it's got out. Seriously, you can hear them lions roaring. But when
In
the night,
Chester.
when it's quiet, the zoo, because we've got Chester Zoo, Mark. Yeah, and it's like literally half a mile away from where I live. And on a still night, you can hear it, because obviously at night noise carries, doesn't it?
Yeah, it is carried as a madness.
And you can hear lions roar, like shit. Okay. But yeah. So anyway, back to Manu. Left backs, Mark. What we going to get? What we looking at, left backs?
Well, right now, the current left back options that we're looking at is Miguel Gutierrez. As you know, he's from Girona, 30
Yeah.
million euro release clause. Real Madrid owns half of the player, but they are not triggering that first preference
Right.
buyback to bring him back to United. So that leaves the door open for a club to come in. And Man United are said to be very interested in him. You know, the scouting department quite favors him as well. So that's going to be very interesting. If we were to do that deal, I'm gonna say, you know what, maybe it might be possible. Look forward to that being an option. You know, at the end of the day, guys, it's very interesting to see what we might be looking at. There's also players such as, you know, that guy from that Turkish young centre back, Ferdi Kadioglu. We've been looking at him as well. He will be coming from Fenerbahce. That's like a 25 million euro price tag, and it's not a release clause, but it's probably what the club value him at. You know, if United go in for him, it might be 30 million euros. But and if you do it down to pounds, that's 20 by 20 either way. You know what I mean?
You know what, Mark? There's two players I've just thought now that we haven't even talked about that we're probably selling: Maguire and Lindelof.
Yeah, we actually there are some interesting deals about that. That there's possibly, you know, Maguire has been probably discussing his way out the door. And at the same time, you know, it's going to be interesting to see what happens, because it might just be one of those things where in the middle of the window, or maybe coming down to the end of the window, he moves. You know, West Ham wasn't interested in him, but there was also some interesting coming in from other players from other clubs, such as Fulham, as well as one of the newly promoted clubs. Ipswich as well was interested in him, as well as Leicester City. So, you know,
you know what, Mark? We could, you know, give the connection with Kieran McKenna. Sorry, we could offload Maguire and Lindelof as a double package to Ipswich. In fact, that would be a decent deal for Ipswich, actually, when you think about it, wouldn't it? Really, Maguire and Lindelof. I mean, I know. Was it Fenerbahce or Galatasaray who were looking at Lindelof? It's Fenerbahce, wasn't it? Yeah. Yeah, we're looking at Lindelof, and then, you know, obviously we've got Ali Wan-Bissaka. There's so many deals INEOS can make. This is what I'm saying, Mark. About I don't, you know, I do believe we're going to sign Brantwaite, I do, because of the players we can sell and the money we can generate. I think we're just, you know, trying to do a better deal for Man United. But I think if push comes to shove, and Everton won't budge on the 70 million, I think we'll go, well, we've got players there we can sell. Okay, we'll get him. We'll just get him. And I'm happy with that to a degree. If it means we're selling players to fund it, not just getting the money out of our coffers, if you know what I mean. And it makes sense. If you get rid of Deadwood, which is a bad term, but they are Deadwood, to buy a player that you really want, then it makes sense, doesn't it? You know what I mean? It just makes the sense. Why mess around with things? If you don't want the players, get rid of them.
100%.
I mean, Wan-Bissaka is another one as well, isn't it? That could be, you know, I think Crystal Palace were on about getting him back. And listen to this. It's like I was talking to my mate a couple of weeks ago when he was going, would you have Elise at Man United? I said, no, not in a snowballing else chance. Why? He's a good player. No, because Crystal Palace are trying to mug us off. They want 60 million for him. What did he go and do? Sell him to Bayern Munich for 50 million. Man United tax 10 million cheaper to someone else. And you know what? I'm so glad we didn't buy the guy for that. Like, because it just goes to show, you know, that Sir Jim won't let us get mugged off.
No,
And he was a luxury signing anyway, because on the right hand side we're stacked anyway. We didn't need him.
didn't, to be fair. But you know, it's kind of interesting the way United doing their business right now. You know, we're not taking any kind of sort of rubbish. You know, we're trying to
Yeah,
take
that's
it
it.
be
Yeah,
smart in the way we operate. You know, if you look at some of the signings that we're going for, all of them within a certain price range, so you could tell that United not playing any games. You know, I
but I'm not
mean,
going to do crazy deals, Mark. Are we? You know what I'm saying? The,
hundred
the,
percent as we shouldn't.
the, the days of us blowing 80, 90, 100 million on players, I think they're gone for now. I'm not saying we'll never do that, but there has to be a certain kind of sanity put back in the transfer market, because over the last 5 seasons, probably more, there's been crazy prices paid for average players. Yeah,
Hundred
that was like,
percent, Tenno. 100%. Some
and,
crazy
and
prices man them pay for some players and
uh, it is, and I'm glad we're stepping out of that circle. And I know a few fans will get miffed. Oh, we could have got this player if you'd have paid a bit more, or we could have got that. No, 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 because there's more than one player in that position. You know what I mean? That sometimes you have to bide your time. Okay, maybe you wanted him, you don't get him. We done it with Harry Kane, and we done it with Jadon Sancho. When we tried to get him first off, pissed around, didn't get him, ended up spending more money, and they bombed out for us. There you go. There's two players there, £150 million down
bro,
the shit house.
150.
Straight away
I
there.
don't know, these are the kind of things that is kind of upset me a little bit, when you see, we have to pay these kind of prices for some of these players and then they do come here and then they do the level boy 10, oh, bro. These are the
Yeah,
things that is send me up a wall. And I just be mad.
this is it. This is what you got to look at. You know what I mean? And it's like I said there. Well, one of my friends was having a little bit of a go at me because these Rashford fan. I said, you sell Rashford, you get pure profits, and it goes towards your PFP. You know what I mean? Because
Mm,
he's an homegrown talent, so it's classed as pure profit. Again, comes back to what I said. You've got assets, sell them at the maximum value because it benefits you down the line. You know what I mean? This is how business works. I don't mean to be thingy to people, but a lot of people don't understand how business works. You don't just go buy a player. You've got to generate that money first to go and buy the player. You understand what I'm saying? And if
yeah,
you've got an homegrown player like Rashford, and let's say for argument's sake, we could get 80 million now for him, that's £80 million pure profit, yeah, which also goes against your FFP, not FPF, FFP, which means you can then allow to spend more money on another target that you need. It's all the economic. A lot of people get lost in economics. You know what I mean? You just think you put your hand in your wallet, you go and buy the geezer, and he plays for you. It don't work that way. Like it swings and
100%. It
roundabouts.
don't work that way. Like,
No, but we've got players there. I mean, Rashford. Okay, probably won't sell him. I would, but we probably won't. I don't think. I think if selling Rashford this window is probably 1 out of 10. Not going to happen.
yeah, that's one of the lowest averages.
Yeah.
That's why I'm not really talking about it too much. Not that I don't think that he should be sold. I think the French league definitely needs some of that star power, but at the same time, you know what? Realistically, it just might not be a deal that we
Well, I
might be
mean,
into.
the thing is, Mark, yeah, right. He's had a bad season, Rashford. Well, whatever's gone on is what's gone on. That's last season. Get the player in, sit him down, go, look, Marcus, look, son, we can't have a shit show like you had last season, mate. Because if you do, you're gone. That's it. Even if we
100%.
tell you, even if we tell you for 1 million to a team from Azerbaijan, you're done. Like you've got to shape up. Now you've got Garnacho and you on the left hand wing. That it's you two battling for one place. Like we saying previously, battling for places makes players play better. So
100%.
step up to the plate. The season before, you banged in 30 goals, son. So here's your challenge. Can you do it? Can you do it again? Because if you bomb at Man United next season, your only option will be to go and play in the Saudi League. Because even PSG won't want you. That's where you'll be going. So it's down to him whether mentally and hungry wise he wants to do that, like battle for a place and just battle for himself to be a better player for himself. It comes down to his own individual karma within himself, isn't it? Do you want to push yourself even more? This is the problem when you get young players and you make them multi-millionaires. They lose that back cutting edge on them, don't they? Because they've already made it. You know what I mean? They're not
100%.
they're not hungry anymore. It's like, well, if I bomb out, I'm okay because I'm getting paid 300 grand a week. So I've been saying it for a long time, Mark, in football. I've seen this coming in the 90s when Sky TV first came in and started kicking off this craziness with the money situation, TV deals, and it snowballed from there. Players should get paid a basic wage, and then you get paid. Like, for example, Marcus Rashford is on, say, 300 grand a week. You're going to get a basic 100 grand a week. You could potentially get 300 grand a week based on performances and if you score goals. And that's it. And if the player don't like it, go to another team, see if they're going to give it to you. Because it doesn't matter who they are, Barcelona, Real Madrid, PSG, you persistently play crap, they're going to get rid of you.
That's
You
how it
want
should
them.
be. You know what I mean? That's how it should be. That's how it should be. 100%.
And that's it, because it's like us mere mortals who have to go to work more than 40 hours a week, 5-6 days a week. A lot of human beings who work on this planet after working real shitty jobs they don't want to be in, and they get paid just enough money to live on. You know what I mean? Put it into perspective. You're getting paid a king's ransom. You can't be asked running around on a pitch for 90 minutes.
Yeah, I mean,
You
it's
know
gonna
what I mean? Wobble your heads, you bitches, innit? You know what I mean?
100%. And it's for me. It's just you could just only be excited about what happening with Manchester United and going forward, because it's something that hasn't happened in a long time. I don't have any alcohol to chase with you, but with water, my bro. And we talked about all the players we had to talk about today. If you would join me tomorrow, Tano, I'll
Yeah.
probably do a stream probably around the same time tomorrow, and we could talk about some of the youngsters that we'll be seeing next week.
Just before you go, Mark, yeah, I would do this next season. I would make Diallo my number one right winger, and I would make Anthony fight for his place.
Oh, definitely can make Anthony fight for his place.
In fact, I'd sell Anthony if I could, but obviously that's not going to happen. But Diallo should be starting over Anthony, in my opinion.
Nothing wrong with that.
I think he's ready. He's there to prove himself, and I think Anthony's had his chances. I don't know what it is. Sometimes, Mike, when you buy players, they just can't adapt to the Premiership. Look at Juan Varane.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
He couldn't handle it. The Argentina player who we bought, remember him? Varane, yeah.
Varane.
Varane, yeah. He couldn't handle it, could he? He never really fulfilled his potential for the caliber of player he was. A lot of South American players don't make it in the English league, believe it or not. When you deep them, look at Angel Di Maria for us. That was another problem, wasn't it? Diego Forlan, another player. You know what I mean?
All them
The other
players.
side of the coin is Antonio Valencia made it for us. And Fred, I like Fred. I think we should have kept Fred, Mark. I do. I like Fred. I know he could have been in and out, but I don't think he was used to his potential. You know what I mean? At least virtually every game I seen Fred play at Old Trafford, at least the guy run round and tried, like, you know what I mean? At least he put effort in. Mightn't have been the best effort, but at least he put it in. And you can't ask no more than that from a player, can you? At least run for the shirt, man. You know what I mean?
100%. All you could do is ask them to run for the shit. You can't do nothing more, nothing
And he
less.
scored a good goal against Barcelona in the Europa League as well, didn't he? Do you remember?
Bro,
When Anthony scored, didn't it?
I wouldn't lie to you. I was so upset when we sell Fred, bro. But you wanna know something? We're good, dude, bro. That's just how I look at it. We're good, dude.
That's the Fred. But there you go. What can you do, Mark? What can you do? Scott McTominay, Fergie's rent boy.
I mean, it has happened, and it's one of those things that is just happened. That's just how it is go. I mean, as sad as it might be, as frustrating as it might be, that's how it is go sometimes. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
It's just one of those things.
But it's good. Being a Man United fan now, we've got a lot of optimism and we've got a lot of exciting things to look forward to. We have. It's going to be rough. The road's going to be bumpy. Don't expect we're going to hit the number one spot straight away. We might win another Carabao Cup. Listen, here's where the new era begins. Beating Man City again in the Community Shield. There you go. There's your starting blockers right there. Boom.
Smack them. Hit them on
There
next
you go.
one. Give them a next loss to let them think about for the whole season again.
They mightn't take it seriously, but we should. Because
definitely.
winning trophies builds confidence. It builds a style of play. It makes players, when they get that trophy and they hear the crowd roaring, they get the little medal wrapped around the neck. It's like, where's the next one coming from? That's it.
100%.
You've got to play an whole season to get the next one, lads. So get cracking. But best to start the season off, your first official game in your season, picking up a trophy.
Yeah,
That's a good start for me.
Definitely gonna be interesting to see what we do with that. 100%. And guys, I have to say this. Thank you so much for all of you that have been here. It's been a really power stream. Normally, I don't do these long streams, but when into Alien come true, and you guys here, the fun never stops. The fun never stops, guys. Big up to you, DJ Superfly. Big up to you, Tommy Boyle.
Cheers, lads.
Enough respect to you, Nero, for coming in. Big up to you, Compo Smooth, my brethren. You know what it is, Wick. We will be definitely having a few beers soon, my bro. Plus it will soon be Oktoberfest. We will be there. You know what I mean? So, guys, thank you so much for coming in and joining us.
Mark, just before you go, bud, me buddy Nathan called me after England won, because we go to a pub in Chester called the Red Lion, and it's one of these pubs where it's got like a big screen wherever you look. Yeah, it's on football days. You literally it's like being in a football ground. You jam it, because wherever you stand in the pub, you've got a great view of the screen watching football. Brilliant. Anyway, he booked a table the day before the semis for his mate and me. I didn't know. He goes, he rung me up when England won. I said, shit, Nathan, I didn't think. I don't think we're going to get in the red line. He goes, don't worry, man, I've booked it. We're in. It's like, yeah, come on.
So you have a time. We'll have
Sunday,
a time.
man, I'm going to be wrecked.
Nice.
I'm going to be wrecked, man.
Well, you know what? I will be doing the watch along from here, and I will definitely be calling you for some vibes from inside that pub. So make sure you have a little video clip to send for the team. I will be playing it on the stream, because you know what? Somehow it might be coming home.
You know what, Mark? I've just got this feeling. I know they're a good team. Look, I'm looking at England's chance against Spain like Man United's against Man City's. Everyone's saying to me Spain's going to beat England. Well, everyone told me Man City was going to beat Man United, didn't they, in the FA Cup? But guess what happened?
Listen, I'm not an England fan to my heart, really, but I just saying this much. I didn't expect England to make the final by no
No.
means. But when England make that final, I was like, you know what? These fellas might bring it home. You know, as
Yeah.
much as Spain might seem indomitable and it might be a tough ass, guys, I'm telling you guys, on the day, don't be surprised if England is the first team to score.
I
I
tell
just
you
think
what,
that because Spain's defense is suspect, and although England might be struggling, if it's one thing they ain't stop doing is scoring goals. They still
no.
score. So it's gonna be
I
a nice
tell you
game.
what, Mark, that first half, England, Bellingham, Mainoo, Kobie Mainoo was sublime, man. The guy was just gliding. I'm not saying it because he's obviously a Man United player. I'm saying it from a footballer's viewpoint.
But
That guy
anybody
was
can
just
see it.
gliding along the grass, wasn't he?
Bro, the
He was
man,
like
I watched the
poetry in
man,
motion,
right?
wasn't
I watched the man get a
he?
push from a Spanish player, right?
Yeah,
The ball was underneath him. He let the ball run and still put it, still nutmeg another player
yeah,
and leave with possession. And I was like, yo, this guy is amazing. He's
yeah.
amazing. You know what, guys? Much respect to Alien
Cheers up.
Tenno for coming through. You know, he must bring all these views. This guy is a season ticket holder. He's all been to all
Forever.
the games. You know, if you want to know about Man United, I might not be the guy that knows the most of the history, but Alien certainly lived most of that history, guys. So, you know, it's always a pleasure to have him on here to get some advice from him about
Big
what
up,
he
man.
thinks. Because for me, it's always about, you know, respecting the traditions at Man United. And we are a fan base with full of traditions and history and heritage with so many different ways, shapes,
We'll
and
be back.
forms. You know what I
We'll
mean?
be back.
We will be back, guys. You
We
know what I
will.
mean? Joshua
And
Zirkzee is
you
in.
know what the good thing about coming back again, Mark, is kicking ass is twice as sweeter again. You know.
Back and better than before, Tenno. Back and better than
Yeah.
before. That is what we will
Rebuilt,
be, guys.
rebuilt, and bigger, better, and meaner.
Brand new,
Facts.
Tenno, 100K stadium. We will be
Yeah.
there. We
Too
will
right, man.
be there. Guys, big up to all of you joining
Cheers.
us. Big up to Peter. Thanks for coming in, my brother. I will
No
see you all
problem, bud.
tomorrow morning. Yes, tomorrow morning I'll be giving you guys a little update. You know, early settings, 8:30 UK time. You know what I mean? Or maybe I will try to do it around 10:30 for you guys if that's a better time for you. Just let me know in the comments. Even if you're in the non-live section, drop it in the comments. Let me know which time is better. I think 10:30 might be more okay for you guys, so we'll try to do it around that time. But join me, guys. I'll give you the update on the transfers. We're looking out for possibly a here we go from the lit
Yeah.
as well. He's heavily pushing the transfer. And don't be surprised if you hear some news maybe from Lenny Euro. There's been some reports that it's very much a 50-50 situation and it could happen at any moment because the ball is in his court. Guys, thank you for joining us. It's been your boy,
Cheers,
Mark,
guys.
and MUFC fan.
Cheers, Mark. Ciao.
Big up to you, Alien Tenno, my brother. Always welcome. Always love to see you here, bro. And I will be seeing you again soon because Sunday, England.
Yeah.
Big up,
Well done.
guys.